Welcome to the Fall and Winter 2014 Cycle 360 podcast. This year has been an eventful one for laboratory medicine, including a spotlight being focused on laboratory testing due to the spread of Ebola in West Africa. There is no doubt that many of you listening have been following that story closely and how it has the potential to impact your laboratory. There are many resources now available to help laboratorians prepare for testing of potentially infectious fluids. Some of these resources are available at the AACC webpage. For your convenience, I've listed one link here, and the podcast with Jim Ritchie and Crystal Evans from Emory University School of Medicine is worth a listen. For this fall podcast, we are going to be focusing on a recap of this year's AACC annual meeting by Deb French, and Joe L. Corey will be discussing the laboratorian's role in test utilization management with Eugenio Zabaleta. Test utilization management will continue to be a growing issue for clinical laboratories, and it is important for clinical laboratorians to play an active role in this effort. Tune in early in the new year for our next Cycle 360 edition. And as always, if there is a topic that you would like to hear the Cycle 360 committee cover in a future podcast, please share your thoughts with any of the Cycle 360 committee members.
Hello and welcome to Cycle 360's podcast. Today we would like to take some time to revisit the many cycle events that took place at the 2014 AACC annual meeting in Chicago, and to congratulate the cycle members who won awards. It was another busy meeting, and I hope you had time to enjoy it. This year's cycle workshop on Saturday, July 26th was titled Skills for Success in Value-Based Healthcare, Demonstrating the Value of Lab Medicine. The first presentation, titled Evidence-Based Laboratory Medicine in Action, saw Dr. Rita Horvath offering some practical examples and her perspective on how to implement evidence-based laboratory medicine, and how the clinical management of patients can be improved using this valuable tool. Dr. Graham Beestall then talked us through adding value to laboratory medicine, a professional responsibility, by reminding us how we should work with clinicians that use our services to ensure that we are delivering the best laboratory services in the context of clinical practice to make sure that our patients are obtaining the highest quality, most cost-effective care possible. And I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge the wonderful job that the graphic recorder did putting the words into pictures in real time, as can be seen in the center of this slide. Next, Dr. Kent Lewandowski entertained us with his presentation titled The Role of the Clinical Laboratory Director in Establishing a Utilization Management Program. He gave us examples of how laboratories can deal with specific test utilization issues, but reminded us that not every solution works for every laboratory, and this type of program should be personalized to every lab. Finally, a breakout session called How Do You Add Value? Brag or Borrow session, led by Dr. Laura Parnas, gave participants the opportunity to think about what they have done recently to bring value to their institution, which was definitely challenging and enlightening. After we were done with the important science stuff, it was time for a more relaxed social gathering in the form of the cycle reception to celebrate cycle's 10th anniversary. Dr. Shannon Haymond and the rest of the cycle workshop organizing committee really showed us that they know how to throw a party. Here, people caught up with friends and collaborators, as well as meeting new ones over some light refreshments. As you can see from the pictures, everyone had a great time, especially when they were playing the casino games. It was at the cycle reception that the winner of the cycle t-shirt contest to mark the 10th anniversary was announced. 3 finalists were chosen by the cycle committee, and cycle members then voted for their favorite design. Congratulations to Dr. Stephen Cotton for designing the winning logo, and also to Gabrielle and Joe for being chosen as finalists. You have all shown just how creative you are. On Monday afternoon, it was time for the student oral presentations. 4 abstracts were chosen, and each of the authors gave a short presentation of their work. Thanks to the sponsorship of AACC's Access program, awards were presented to the 4 presenters seen in this photo. After the oral presentations, there was a poster contest. A number of cycle members and other distinguished clinical chemists participated as judges and spent some time talking to the poster presenters about their exciting work. Once all the voting was complete, a number of awards were presented to the SYCL members shown at the bottom of this slide, again thanks to sponsorship by AACC's Access programme. Congratulations to all of the presenters. It's exciting to hear about the new clinical studies that are being carried out by the students every year. Once the oral and poster presentations were completed, it was time for the joint AACC SYCL reception. This event again provides a great opportunity for networking in an informal setting, as well as catching up with old friends and making new ones. It is also at this reception where a number of awards are given out. SYCL domestic travel grants are given to individuals in need of sponsorship to attend the annual AACC meeting. These awards are $2,000 each, and the 7 recipients of the 2014 travel grants are shown here. These travel grants were funded by AACC's Access programme, Kerry Weinert, the Northeast, Pacific Northwest, Philadelphia, Rocky Mountain and Southern California local sections. In addition, several students also received travel awards generously sponsored by Beckman Coulter and AACC's Access programme. Being given the opportunity to attend the annual meeting as well as the SYCL events is very beneficial in terms of networking and meeting other people in your field, as well as making new friends. Applications for these travel awards are highly competitive, so congratulations to everyone that received one. Congratulations to Dr. Chris McCudden from the Ottawa Hospital in Ottawa, Canada, recipient of the SYCL Service Award for his exceptional contributions to the field of clinical chemistry and service to both AACC and SYCL. This is very well deserved. Congratulations also to Dr. David Grenache from the University of Utah and ARUP Laboratories, recipient of the SYCL Mentorship Award for going above and beyond the call of duty in his support of SYCL and the development of early career scientists. Congratulations, Dr. Grenache. During this reception, the new AACC diplomates are also recognized. Congratulations to every one of them. Your hard work and dedication has paid off. It's hard to believe that the abstract deadline for the 2015 AACC annual meeting will soon be upon us early in the new year. But it is exciting to think that in a few short months we will be doing this all again. See you at the SYCL sponsored events in Atlanta in July 2015.
Hi. With healthcare costs in the U.S. approaching $2.5 trillion per year and laboratory and pathology accounting for 4% of total healthcare costs, it has become impossible to ignore the realities associated with laboratory costs. More importantly, the continuous expansion of our test menus without guidance on appropriate utilization poses a threat to the quality of care we deliver to our patients. Test utilization is a strategy for performing appropriate laboratory testing with the goal of providing high-quality, cost-effective patient care. With me today to talk about his role and experience with test utilization in an inpatient setting is Dr. Eugenio Zabaleta, clinical chemist at Ohio Health Med Central in Mansfield, Ohio. Hi, Eugenio, and thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Joe.
So, tell us a little bit about your role in improving test utilization at your institution.
In my institution, I function as a bridge between the laboratory and the clinicians. In other words, between how we perform the test, also called analytical performance, and how clinicians use in their practice to make clinical decisions, also called clinical performance.
Okay, and what are some of the important strategies that you've used to ensure appropriate test utilization at your hospital?
Well, mainly, if I have to give you a number, I will put that is mainly 4. And I am one of the members of the Physician Advisory Group that we call it PAG for the implementation of CPOE, Computerized Physician Order Entry. I am the laboratorian that participates in the creation of the evidence-based order sets. So our menu and our formulary for the lab has a strong input from me. And the third one will be developing algorithms for laboratory testing to make testing more effective and patient-oriented. According to the clinical necessity of each patient. And the fourth will be participating in any hospital-wide project that we try to do process improvement. For example, developing ED or observation unit testing protocols to test the right patient at the right time with the right test, and also participate in a hospital readmission reduction initiative. Why? Because usually what we found out here is the longer the patient is in the hospital, more utilization occur of laboratory tests.
Okay, and what are some of the greatest challenges that you face in implementing these strategies?
Well, when you talk about physician practices, in many institutions, most of the order set of what the order that each doctor orders and how they follow their patient are not under the control, and they tend to be not standardized and sometimes not even evidence-based order sets. In that, on top of that, some physicians consider that order sets or evidence-based medicine they are a cookbook medicine, which in some cases offend them. So, as a laboratory professional, we have the responsibility to educate physicians that the intention of our order set is not to replace their clinical judgment or clinical expertise, but to enhance their practice through our knowledge of laboratory testing.
Excellent. And so do you think it is essential that clinical chemists and laboratorians in general be involved in test utilization, and why?
Well, many clinical decisions that the physician make are influenced by laboratory results alone. And laboratory tests, for that reason, is very important, is vital for laboratorians to be involved in test utilization. However, we have to keep in mind that we have to be aware that the laboratorian's main goal when we talk about test utilization is not only to decrease overutilization. Overutilization will be taken care of by itself when we try to do correct utilization.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Eugenio, for this helpful input, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Joe, for having this conversation.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.